have to reflect back to yourself that, hey, the worst case scenario didn't happen, or hey, actually I'm still safe, and people maybe have judged me, but actually I didn't die from it. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Farah. I am a performance artist and I like to speak on some stuff. If you're not new here, you know that this is my mic. Today we're talking about how to embrace your inner cringe. I felt called to talk about this topic because I feel like it's relevant in my life. I'm an artist and I think sometimes I do a lot of cringe stuff. Also I do this YouTube channel, which is basically just a practice of cringe. And yeah, I think for myself as an artist, it's so important to be able to let go of like the feeling of cringe, because you need to feel free in your experimentation, especially as a performance artist, because I use a lot of like theatrical elements. And yeah, so I think I have some knowledge on this topic, even though I myself have not completely let go of the fear of cringe. But I do think I have some like knowledge on it, and I want to share with you like 2 perception shifts that I think could help you. Okay, I am a little annoyed because I just filmed the whole thing and I realized that my phone deleted the footage because my phone is full, and then sometimes it's filming and then halfway just like stops filming and doesn't save the footage. So I have to do it again, but I will just snap back into positive energy. Yeah, but I will just get back to the video. The first perception shift that I wanted to talk about is if you let the fear of cringe stop you, you're really like allowing yourself to think that other people's opinions are worth more than your own. And you're also, if you let yourself being stopped by it, you're also even telling yourself that that's the case. And I think the reason why we're scared of being judged is not even like being judged, but I think it's more the emotion that comes after we're being judged, like shame or sadness. And I think what really helps is to like think of the worst case scenario. So let's say you're doing something so weird and you're scared that your community will like completely ostracize you, even though that will probably not happen. And if that is the case, then really it's not your community. But I think even if that were to happen, the thing that you have to tell yourself is that you're able to handle that. Like you're able to handle backlash. You're able to handle people judging you, because you have to learn how to self-soothe yourself through that embarrassment. And I think the more you do that, the more like safe you will feel. And I think that like helps a lot, that mindset shift of thinking, actually, I am able to handle being embarrassed and I am able to handle being weird. And yeah, I think that puts it into perspective a lot, and to realize that it's really just a feeling that you're fearing. And you are way bigger than that feeling. My other perception shift that has really helped me is to think of cringe kind of as like this bad deity. Like kind of imagine a character in your head that is called the Grinch. It's like a god that a lot of people fear. And a mantra that I like to tell myself is, you are not better just because you fear the Grinch, or the cringe. And I feel like, even though it's a little bit petty, to me that really helps, because if someone is feeling like second-hand embarrassment for you, or like cringe, then it really says a lot more about them and how much they've freed themselves of feeling embarrassed. And I'm not saying that you are better than them, but someone who fears feeling awkward so much is really not better than you, and is really not like an opinion that you should value above your own. And I also think like letting go of the fear of cringe is truly a practice. Like, have you seen that challenge on Instagram where like people are trying to get rid of their fear of rejection? And what they do is every day they challenge themselves to ask someone kind of a weird question. Like, I saw this one video where there is this guy and like he knocked on this woman's door and he was like, can I plant this flower in your garden? And even though that's like an absurd question, right? This woman actually said like, yeah, of course you can do that. Like, and they had like an amazing interaction. And I think you can also really think about what is the best case scenario that can happen if I do this cringy thing. But I think what I'm like getting to here is that the more you show yourself that it is safe, the more you feel safe doing it. And it's kind of like what I learned when I was in cognitive behavioral therapy a couple years ago. And okay, so I was like really scared of small places. I think this kind of came from like COVID, and it's just like my ADHD with anxiety kind of grasped onto that small spaces are scary. And like there's this elevator, very, very small elevator in my school. But I was really like way too scared to go into this elevator. But I had to take like 6 stairs to get to my floor every day. And then my therapist asked me like, what's your worst case scenario? And that would be that maybe the elevator gets stuck with me in it, and that maybe I would die of not having enough air. But actually, that the fear was just that I was really scared of this small place. But it was kind of like an irrational fear. And then my task was that every day I had to take this elevator, and every day I had to soothe myself through this embarrassment, or not embarrassment, of through this like fear of these maybe 30 seconds being in this elevator. And every time that I got out of the elevator safe, I had to like reflect back to my previous thoughts that were like about it being fearful. Like, hey, see, it actually wasn't that scary. And I think that's also what you have to do with this, with like rejection or embarrassment, is the more you do it, like every time you do something that you think is outside of your lens of what is acceptable, you have to reflect back to yourself that, hey, the worst case scenario didn't happen, or hey, actually I'm still safe, and people maybe have judged me, but actually I didn't die from it. And I think the more that you do that, the more that this lens kind of widens, and the more proof you collect for yourself that actually it is safe to do things that are abnormal in your own brain. And I also wanted to touch upon like what we view as normal, and like how society has really, like, it's all fake, like and I think the thing is, like, as children we have collected a lot of proof that it is unsafe to do something that society deems as weird or abnormal, because then you kind of fall out of your group. And also as humans in our evolution, it's has always been very important to like rely on each other. And so it's really like programmed in us to not want to do something that might set us apart from the group, but that is no longer like something that is keeping us safe. And so it's really just a lot of proof and programming that you already have within yourself of what is cringe, and that cringe is unsafe. So you have to, in order to let go of cringe or embrace cringe, you have to collect a lot more proof, or a lot of proof to not feel like cringe anymore when you're doing something that you see is cringe, that you think is cringe. So I think, really like start there. Maybe just doing little things every day that make you feel embarrassed, but soothe yourself through the embarrassment and afterwards reflect back on yourself and be like, actually, I didn't die. Actually, I'm still safe. And I think the more you do that, the more kind of your lens of cringe widens. And I was thinking, like, if this like inner lens of what is cringe, if that just keeps on widening or if it also ever goes away. But yeah, I don't know that yet because I think I still have a lot of things that I deem as cringe. But yeah, I'm also human, so it is normal. And I wanted to end with a quote that I saw someone's comment, and it was, discomfort is the opportunity or the potential for more comfort. And I think that's a beautiful quote to end on. So I wanted to thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments if you did, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye. Also, I wanted to show this because this is how... Anyway, this is how I put my microphone. Massive fill.